as a pitcher, it's kind of on you, a lot of it. So, you're definitely thinking about it, coming into the game. And I don't know. I know the bullpen was taxed a little bit, so I needed to go deep. And, obviously I wanted that to be quality innings. So I was able to do that, go deep into the game, save the bullpen a little bit, and, get out of there with a lead.
Anthony?
Knowing that, to what extent do you at all change what you're doing, knowing that, they need you to go at least 6, maybe 7?
You don't try to change it up too much just because I always try to do that. I always try to go deep. But, in a game like this, you kind of get the feel for it early on. And then, they're aggressive. So I try to use that to my advantage after the first few innings to just get quick outs. And, I know my pitch count was up a little bit early on. So I was just trying to limit that. The rest of the games, get quick outs and make, pitches where I needed to be able to do that.
Separately, as you take a step back or people anyway, take a step back and look at your body of postseason work over the past 2 years, your name starts to get tossed around with some of the all-time greats. So what do you make of that?
It's cool. It's special. Take pride in it. And, there's been a lot of great pitchers that pitch in the postseason. A bunch of them probably have more innings and body of work than I do, but I try to do the best I can with what I have, and it's special to be named with a lot of those guys. So I don't know, it's cool, special.
The back on the right. Zach, when a runner was on, just how did you feel like you contained those situations well and limiting any damage getting done?
Yeah, coming into the game, coming into the series, we all know they're fast, they're speedy, and they like to take bases. So, we all talked about it before the series, and, a guy gets on, you got to be careful with him. You got to change up your looks, change up your times to home, maybe do something a little different here and there, but don't get outside of yourself at the same time. Don't try to, slide step maybe when you normally don't or something like that, but because you want to make your good quality pitches at the same time.
To follow up on what you're saying, as a pitcher of your caliber, is there a special level of focus that you unlock in those kinds of situations?
Certain guys, Corbin on first, obviously you don't pay more attention to him than, maybe somebody else. But, that's learning over the years what you have to do to limit base runners getting the second. Once they're in second, they're usually in scoring position, right? So, especially with somebody with, his speed or other guys on that team. But, so you just try to limit them getting the second base by, changing up your looks, like I said.
The left side in the back.
What made the 4-seam such a good pitch for you tonight?
I was able to locate it. The shape of it wasn't always the same. I was pulling some, which worked to my advantage a couple times. And then some were, kind of running arm side. So, I think, people kind of go to effectively wild. I wasn't really wild, but, it wasn't always doing the same thing. So I think that played to my advantage.
The last one's for Zach. Back to David.
You had a couple stretches where, 2 outs on 2 pitches, 2 outs on 6 pitches. Yeah. How big were those, just to kind of keep that? Obviously, you can't really plan on that, I don't think, but to keep your pitch count down and give you a chance at the 7th.
Well, yeah, that's kind of going back to what we talked about was, trying to, after those first couple innings, getting it, figured out what their game plan is, that type of stuff, to just go right after them. I know they're going to be aggressive. I know they're going to be swinging. They're probably looking for a fastball, but I'm also going to throw the fastball and just try to command it the best I can. When you get ahead of guys, put them away quick. But, the defense, it's probably the best they played behind me all year, and it was really cool to, watch them do their thing out there. Stott, Hart made a good play. Castellanos cutting the ball off. Didn't let it get to the wall. Little stuff sometimes makes a difference for us, makes our job a lot easier. Keeping a guy on first instead of letting them get the second. So, I appreciate that, and they made my job a lot easier tonight.
And then what was the conversation, if any, before that 7th inning? Jose was warming up. You were at, 92, 93 pitches, I think?
Topper just asked if I was good, and I said, yeah, I felt great. So, I was going right back out there.
And then one last one. Every time you kind of ran into a little bit of adversity, you responded, even right in that 7th inning.
Yeah.
Is that something you pride yourself on?
For sure. Like I said, you just don't try to let them get the second. Don't let them get it easy for them. And, the first inning, the guy was on, first and third. And, that's really when you got to bear down. You can't let them get, momentum at home. The crowd will get back into it. You try to shut that down as best as you can and let your guys get the momentum.
We'll finish up with Barry.
Zach, considering last year going into the World Series, you could have a rematch against the Astros again. It would be the first time that's happened with two teams playing each other since like the 70s. What did you take out of that? And I want to go too far ahead, but how much better you think this team is and how better prepared it is to go to the next round than it was last year?
Yeah. Like you said, we can't think ahead too much, but if we were to make it there and they make it there, it's pretty cool. It's really hard to do, making it to the World Series. So 2 teams to make it there back to back would be pretty awesome. But I think we got a better team than last year, and we added some guys in the bullpen, added some bats, some gloves. So I think we'll be in a good position, but we can't think ahead too much. We got to play